Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. You can call me Kai and this is my crafty corner of the internet where I talk about mostly cross stitch. And today we're back with probably my last floss tube update video for the year. Hi, if you're new here, I just had a baby a couple weeks ago, so I'm not really planning on recording any more regular floss tube updates for at least a while. I'd like to be back by the end of the year, but I can't promise anything because again, brand new baby and we already have a toddler, so life is pretty busy here at the moment. I don't think I'm going to have a whole lot of free time to sit down and record, much less edit videos. So this is my last planned update video for the year, but like I said, if I can come back sooner, I will. I'm just not making any promises right now. So with all of that being said, I want to show you all of the things that I stitched on in June. I have 2 whips to show you and that's it. So hopefully this video is going to be super quick. And then after that, we will get into a few life updates and yeah. So we'll just go ahead and get right into my whips. First whip that I have to show you is the Life at the Cottage Stitch Along by Needle-Lot Designs. I'm stitching this on 18 count Celestine Aida from Fiber on a Whim. Here is where I was at last time you guys saw it. There were 2 part releases in June. The first one coming out on June 4th, June 3rd, sorry, which I was able to complete no problem. And then the final part was released on June 24th, which was actually the day that I came home from the hospital. So I didn't quite get part 5 finished up before the end of the month, but that's okay. But yeah, that's okay. So usually I try to record these on the 1st of the month, but today is the 2nd because there was some other stuff happening on the 1st that made recording kind of difficult. So I have stitched on this since the end of June. So here is actually where I stopped on June 30th. So this is after stitching on it for 12 days in June. I added 1,804 stitches to bring it up to 44.96%, roughly thereabouts. And here's where I am now after a couple more days of stitching. So yeah, I'm getting closer to finishing this chicken. I should be able to finish it before the next part releases on July 15th. And that's as far as I can plan right now. But yeah, this is a really nice, small, easy project. I have been able to stitch this while the baby contact naps. I'm just really tired right now, so my stitching speed is a little bit slower, and I don't have quite the same stitching hours as I did before the baby showed up, but, you know, new parent life. So, yeah. So that's Life at the Cottage. And then the next whip that I have to show you is the Santa's Truck Stocking Kit by Dimensions. I started this on May 7th, 2026, and I'm stitching this with all the included kit materials, so the 16 count Ivory Aida and all the Dimensions floss. Here is where I was at last time you guys saw it. And then, after stitching on it for 20 days in June, here's where I'm at now. So I have finished all of the crosses and half crosses for the top half of the stocking, minus my spouse's name up here. I'm going to save that for the very last. And then I even got started doing some of the back stitch. So I haven't picked this up since coming home from the hospital. Because I've been really trying to finish Life at the Cottage, get that done. Basically, I can only work on one project at a time right now, so if I get Cottage done first, then I'll come back to this. And then, yeah, I'll just continue doing my, finish up all the back stitch here, and then move on to the bottom half of the pattern. Hoping to get this finished before Christmas, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, hopefully, like, as the months progress and baby gets a little bit older and hopefully starts napping independently, I'll be able to reclaim some of my stitchy time and get this finished before Christmas this year, so that way we have a full set of matching family stockings. And that's it. That's all I cross-stitched. Yeah, so life updates. Like I mentioned, I did just have a baby a couple weeks ago. Short of it was I was originally scheduled to have a C-section on June 26th, but baby had other plans and came early, about 2 weeks early, ahead of my due date. And I kind of threw a few things for a loop, which, you know, is life. So, but, you know, we're obviously now home from the hospital. I've been recovering well, had a few health concerns that I do need to keep eyes on. Nothing too serious, just some stuff I have to keep eyes on is all. But we're home, baby's doing fine. Surprisingly, we're sleeping decently at night. We're getting some 3 and 4 hour stretches already, which is incredible, actually, for a newborn. And I am soaking all of that in. Trust me, I know exactly how lucky we are to have a newborn that is actually sleeping significant stretches at night. Now that once I get life at the cottage caught up, my plan is to go back to a few projects that I had otherwise completed this year, like my baby's birth announcement. I need to actually stitch in the birth details, like, you know, the name, how much they weighed, when they were born, etc. So that birth announcement can be finished, and then we can take it to the framers, and then have to stitch baby's name on the reindeer hedgehog stocking that I finished a few months ago. And then from there, I will probably kit up another small project that I can stitch in a small hoop, hold over the baby and stitch in a small hoop. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be just yet. I do have the pattern for the Fair Isle Winter Animals by Tiny Modernist, I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, the Tiny Modernist Fair Isle Animals ornaments. I was planning on stitching those on plastic canvas and turning them into ornaments for our Christmas tree. But at the same time, I've been stitching Christmas since the start of the year. So I think I need to take a little break from Christmas. Maybe work on a project from the Need-A-Lot Designs cross-stitch book, Fantasy Cross-Stitch. I keep seeing people stitching that unicorn, and my toddler would love that unicorn. I'm also really interested in Catherine from Uncounting My Stitches, flosstube. She did a pink conversion for her unicorn, and my toddler would love that. Pink is her favorite color. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to play around with some stuff. Otherwise, I have everything for the Phoenix. I've got the fabric. I've got all the floss to stitch up the Phoenix. But there might be something else in there. Maybe something a little bit smaller that I can do. So, yeah. Since I'm not gonna have any time to record and edit YouTube videos, I will instead be posting updates periodically when I remember to my Instagram account. I have had an Instagram for a while, I just never really used it. And currently right now I still only have the one post from when I came home to announce the fact that the baby was born. So if you're interested in keeping up with me just a little bit more until I can come back to YouTube, my Instagram handle is @CrossingKai. I will put a link in the description box below as well if you'd like to keep up, reach out, message, whatever. I'm not going to be super active in posting on the platform just because I can never remember about it. Other than that, I think that's about it. I don't have my book to show you, but I have been keeping up with my cross stitch every day personal challenge. Even when I was in the hospital, I had my spouse bring me the Christmas stocking, and I would stitch on it a little bit here and there while I was in the hospital. Which, like, all of the nurses who came in would see it, and they thought that was, like, fantastic. They just could not get over the fact that I was a cross stitcher. Some of them were stitchers themselves when they were a little bit younger. But yeah, everyone was really impressed by the stocking that I was working on. So that was good to have that in the hospital while I was recovering. And then I think that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. This was a much shorter video. I do still have to edit it a little bit, but hopefully I can get this out to you guys soon. And in the meantime, keep an eye out on my Instagram channel, or my Instagram account. I will try to post whips when I can think about them, and hopefully I'm back to YouTube before the end of the year. Until then, please take the time to be kind to yourself and do something that you enjoy. And I will hopefully see you guys back here next time. Bye friends, happy stitching!